Welcome to my channel. This playlist offers insights into the impending golden age of humanity. Feel free to show your support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Your engagement is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Homo Luminous, the evolved and ascended version of Homo sapiens, is a humanoid species with roots in several galaxies. To comprehend the dietary requirements of the human species, one must study their origin and genesis. Humans are the result of genetic experimentation that took place several million years ago. There is undoubtedly a native base to the human genome through a macaque species, but the most important genes are extraterrestrial. Most human-looking humanoids in the Nauru galaxy or the Milky Way are descendants of the humanoid species that once were seeded into the Lyra constellation and the star system Vega. The ancient war between humanoids and reptilians led to the destruction of their civilization, triggering a significant diaspora. The humanoids fled from their enemies and sought refuge on several moons, asteroids, and planets across Nauru. But Lyra is not where Homo sapiens originate from. The various descendants from Lyra are akin to cousins of Earthlings. The creators or seeders of Earth humans are a group of intergalactic races, some of whom are humanoids but most are not. Humans from Terra have 3 siblings, or humanoid species with striking similarities, created simultaneously in various galaxies. 2 of these siblings have already ascended to the 5th density quite some time ago, while 1 is less evolved than humans today. One day, there will be a family reunion, and Homo Luminous will have the opportunity to meet their parents as well as their siblings. But this is far into your future. Additionally, the humanoids from Lyra were also seeded by the same group of intergalactic star races, indicating that all humanoids in Nauru, from a genetic perspective, originate beyond the galaxy. The genetic foundation of all humanoids can be traced back to a planet called Trion in another sector of the universe. The humanoid inhabitants of Trion, known as Adamus, still exist in densities 6 to 8, but have not participated in the seeding of new life. The genetic material utilized by the intergalactic seeding races stems from a gene pool established billions of years ago, which is continuously used and enhanced. The Adamus humanoids strictly follow a vegan diet, abstaining from the consumption of any form of meat or animal products, even during the early stages of their evolution on the 3rd density. Trion boasts an abundance of unique plant species, vegetables and fruits distinct from those found on Terra. This environment has always provided an ideal habitat for the Adamus. The diet shielded them from microorganisms and bacteria, thus leaving them unacquainted with illnesses. Consequently, they enjoyed extended lifespans, with an average of 300 human years on the 3rd density, which increased to nearly 3,000 years upon ascending to the 5th. The humanoids scattered throughout the universe of Eon are a fusion of various species where Adamus genes tend to dominate the genome. Genetic experimentation requires a native base species that seamlessly integrates into a planet's energetic grid. On Terra, the seeding races chose an exceptionally agile macaque ape. The Homo sapiens genome includes 50% Adamus genes, along with an additional 10% of ape genes from Terra. Another 10% of refined feline genes from various galaxies contribute to psychic abilities. 5% comprises aquatic mammal genes from the nature reserve Oxylon in the Pisces star constellation, providing an energetic toolkit for telepathy and healing. Around 15% is a mixture from the original Lyra humanoid species, fostering a bond between all humanoids in the galaxy. The final 5% consists of a unique code not found elsewhere in the universe, referred to as HuT, or Humanoid Terra, which constitutes the most potent of the human genes. It is what defines human as human. The primary objective was to create a species capable of attaining heightened consciousness. The HuT mix represents a unique genetic composition tailored for a specific purpose. Following ascension into the fifth density, Homo Luminous, with its fully activated DNA, has the potential to reconcile opposing factions within this sector of the universe. Encoded within the HuT genetic makeup is a message of enduring peace aimed at ancient adversaries. The 50 species integrated into this distinct part of the human genome consists of 25 positively polarized and 25 negatively polarized species. While polarization remains an individual choice, soul memory is always embedded in the genetic code. This interplay leads to a profound struggle between the two polarities within each human on the third density. However, this struggle also offers the potential to transcend conflicts and heal karmic wounds, creating healing ripples across the universe and among adversary species. This clarifies the substantial galactic interest in the human species on Terra and the enduring involvement in human affairs that has persisted for millennia. Certain species are enthusiastic about humanity's ascension, while others are inclined to ensure that humanity remains rooted in the third density indefinitely. The humans of Terra serve as beacons of hope for the universe, while the ascended Homo Luminous act as the bringers of peace. Regarding diet, the human genome is distinct and includes parts of carnivore DNA, incorporating elements from feline, dolphin, as well as insectoid and reptilian components. Additionally, the third density of planet Terra isn't an ideal environment for a humanoid species. With 50% of the genome originating from the Adamus source code and 15% from the Lyra humanoid mix, there exists a significant evolutionary inclination toward the vegan path. Approximately 65% is pure vegan. However, This path doesn't suit all individuals on the third density Earth, as the body cannot obtain the necessary nutrients from a vegan diet in all geographical locations. Consequently, the consumption of meat has been and still is necessary for many people on the third density of the planet. The carnivore DNA holds greater prominence in the physical realms 3 and 4. With ascension from the 4th to the 5th realm, 2 significant changes occur. In the semi-physical realms 5 to 8, beings require less solid food, as their bodies consist of more light and have the capacity to directly extract some energy from the universal plasma grid. Secondly, the activation of more Adamic DNA strengthens the vegan traits. On the negative path of service to self, some humans choose to consume artificially produced meat, as transhumanism might involve deliberately withholding and modifying Adamic DNA. Conversely, those on the positive path of service to others choose a vegan diet, as it fortifies their connection to source energy, expedites the ascension journey, and maintains the health of the avatar body. As humanity ascends to the 5th realm, all expressions of source energy undergo parallel transformation. Plant life and animals embody more light, resulting in both altered appearances and behaviors. Moreover, the nutritional composition of plants will change and new species will emerge. Thus, as humans develop more specific vegan preferences, plants will evolve to provide what is needed. The law of attraction shapes the reality across all densities, ensuring that desired elements manifest. Plants, berries, and fruits more suited for the humanoid body and with higher nutritional value will become readily available. As humanity becomes part of galactic trade and cooperation, new plant species better suited for humans will be introduced from off-planet. On the negative path of service to self, meat consumption is expected to continue, although to a lesser extent than it does today. However, the practice of confining animals in cages and killing living beings for meat is considered archaic even for humans opting for service to self. The treatment of animals, particularly the industrialization of meat production, appears barbaric to Homo Luminous, irrespective of their positive or negative polarization. In the higher realms, meat consumption occurs through lab-grown meat that can be swiftly produced on spaceships and spaceports. Both positively and negatively polarized humans are projected to treat animals with a significantly higher degree of respect compared to the present practices. For both polarities, fear is recognized as a detrimental emotion. Homo Luminous actively avoids descending into fear and strives to maintain a high frequency. Consequently, the idea of consuming food infused with fear appears illogical. On the third density Earth, animals intended for consumption often do not receive the respect and dignity they deserve. It is ironic that while humans desire delicious steak, they often disregard the treatment and emotions of the animals before slaughter. While animal activists, Vegans and vegetarians consider these matters. Many meat eaters tend to overlook them. Homo Luminous comprehends that emotions become embedded in the body, leaving distinct energy imprints ranging from love to fear and everything in between. Each animal understands the impending threat of death and experiences fear, as resisting death is a natural instinct. Consuming animals equates to consuming fear, an act that Homo Luminous finds inconceivable and barbaric. Today, luxury for some may involve a candlelight dinner featuring a medium-cooked beefsteak and red wine. While this experience holds its own pleasures, it remains a feature of the present era and will not be part of human food culture in the future. Each period possesses its own unique attributes, and it's important to acknowledge that a soul can choose to incarnate into any time window, whether past, present, or future. Every experience remains accessible to a soul, ensuring that change and evolution need not be a source of sadness. Revisiting specific cultural nuances and customs from different epochs is always a possibility. What once existed remains perpetually accessible to souls through the Akashic records. So instead of grieving the loss of certain culinary delights, remember the abundance of wine and steak you've already enjoyed over several centuries. The future holds the promise of something new and exciting. Homo Luminous, regardless of positive or negative polarity, will abstain from consuming alcoholic beverages, smoking tobacco, or indulging in any recreational drugs. This decision stems from the understanding that such substances have a detrimental impact on the brain, body, and an individual's consciousness. Homo Luminous consistently prioritizes maintaining a clear and conscious connection to the source above all else. As a result, the long-standing tradition of alcohol production, including wine and beer, will remain parts of the third and fourth densities. Those who struggle to comprehend and resist this transition might not participate in this ascension. Instead, they will undergo another ascension cycle of 26,000 years within third density Terra. Those who ascend have relinquished their old ways and eagerly embrace the new path ahead. It's important to note that ascending to the fifth density is a conscious decision, and individuals must choose their polarity and desire ascension. Individuals who retain affection for the third density Earth, its strong polarity, customs and workings, may choose to remain. Ascension will eventually occur, but it is never imposed, allowing each soul fragment the freedom to determine its own path. Arise, starseeds of Terra. Embrace the dawn of your new golden age.